We are back. Oh, I'm muted. I'm muted. I'm sorry. We're back. I caught it 3, 2, 1, and I was muted. Oh, I'm sorry. We're back, guys. And we are pissed.
Yeah. So 3/4 of the party died. We had a little bit of a chat, and we decided that we're not done with Outbreak. But
Can
these
I come back
characters,
as a zombie and be zombie paladin? And instead of doing good, try to do bad?
yes, but then you'll have to be working against the entire party on the whole
It's
way
The
like
through.
rest of the party is zombies too. It's zombie Leo and zombie Leslie and zombie Evelyn against not zombie not zombie bulldog.
All right. I mean, I
Why can't we
promise
just
you.
continue the campaign as zombies and try to seek out all the live people?
I mean, because we're not technically dead, right? We're technically
we're
zombies.
undead.
You're undead. I promise you, if we continue Outbreak, this is not the last that we'll see of your characters.
I know, but can I play Evelyn?
I think that would have been fun to do demigod as vampires.
I know. We wanted to do demigod vampires too.
At least one episode, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think in the meantime, we're gonna do a Q&A. You guys ask questions, we answer questions.
Actually, so here's the thing. I have a Q for your A.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
That's how you roll on ice.
Anna, he's a married man.
Yeah. Whatever. Anyways, I'm so salty right now. Like a million Misscliks fail emotes, guys. Like I'm so salty because this is I have really bad rolling luck. Like not like, oh haha, it's funny, Anna has bad luck. Like I actually have this recurring condition in my life of like I do not get things by luck. I do not win drawings. I do not trip. I do not get the luck of the draw. I just don't. I'm just not a lucky person. Anything I win, I work for. And so this is the first character that I've ever had that had some solid HP, had strength, like wouldn't just had fun things to play with and had all these abilities and all these cool things that I could do. Like there's 3 pages of things a paladin can do. Like I barely even scratched the surface. So I'm really, really freaking upset right now. But my question was that I have paladins can cure diseases and also are immune to all forms of disease. So the thing is, zombie Evelyn might not work because my theory was that if she ever got turned into a zombie or like got infected, she actually might not turn into a zombie if this was a disease and not a magical malady. So I can't probably get the answer to this question if we are doing Outbreak unless we never run into a paladin again. But I don't know.
So what is the question?
The question is, if Evelyn had been infected, would she have become a zombie?
The way I interpret the rules is as a paladin, you cannot become... You cannot be diseased. You're immune to disease. So the question is, when you die, do you maintain does your body maintain the holy aura of
I thought
paladin?
no. In Demigods, you told us no. When I died, was it when I died? Yeah, when I died, Jen tried to use. When Arcus died, Jen tried to use a bunch of things to like talk to me, but I was gone. My soul was gone, or whatever. When you die, you said that you're like.
Yeah, I don't really remember that situation too well. Sorry.
It was something like, I think I remember what you're saying. Like I don't remember, but I remember what you're talking about. Someone go watch the VOD, Neil. Look at the VOD, Neil.
If this is a disease-borne infection that is causing these zombies, then I would say there is a chance, depending on your paladin level, that your body will remain holy and purified and devoid of evil. If it is a magical malady, then you will be raised from the dead to become a zombie. So it depends on the nature of the outbreak and how strong of a paladin you are. You're a level 1 paladin, so I would do like a 5% chance your body can resist the evil, or probably like a 10% chance. your body can resist the disease. But if it's a
But
magical,
I'm just immune to disease, so it wouldn't be a % chance.
but I'm saying, so what I'm saying is that if you're
Oh,
dead,
the dead. Got
if
it.
you're dead, then depending on how powerful of a paladin you are, then you have so much energy remaining in the vessel that was your person.
Mm-hmm. I see.
And I would do 10% chance per level.
I also would have had the ability once we hit level 3 to turn undead. So, like, this character was actually like turnkey for this campaign. Like, it was the best thing that had ever happened to me in D&D. So, I feel like yes, #AnAssault, but I feel like now that Evelyn is dead, like, we're just gonna keep getting killed by zombies at the end.
Well, it is a zombie outbreak.
Yep. And that's what happens in a zombie outbreak. The hero doesn't save the day. The zombies kill everybody. The end.
And Jen survives.
Yeah, it seems to be a recurring theme in my life. I'm not too sure how.
Yeah.
Jen freaking survives because she was AFK last week. Okay, it's the only reason she survived. All right, maybe we didn't have party TK if she was in the freaking city with us. Okay, Jen, it's all on you. All right.
I get blamed for people's deaths a lot.
This me think,
like,
huh?
Abigail.
Yeah, you have this knack for not being around when the party dies. It's like your absence increases their.
Or I die alone, like Jackery. So it's like I either die alone or my party dies without me. That's what I do.
So Hicarier and a couple other people have come up with ideas for like why the party would not die. I suggested to Neil that Martha just resurrected us because I was such a good and loyal servant, but he didn't buy that. So I guess the question from chat is, Neil, is there any universe in which these people don't die?
Would you like to see a game would you like us to play a game where the characters can die and then we're just like, never mind, they're raised from the dead again, everyone's back at full life and everything's fine? Like,
Well,
then there's
that is
no
the question for you, chat.
Yeah, like do you want to see that game? Because we can roll that game, but then every time they get into a zombie battle, you're gonna be like, whatever. Oh no, someone died. Someone will bring them back. It's okay.
I think that it's
Why
okay.
can't we actually be zombies?
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's okay for characters to come back when there's a deep price, like when there's like what happened in Demigods when we brought Arcus back to life, but it was at the cost of demigodhood for Emma. Like, I think that's cool. So in this case, the fact that there are 3 of us dead make the cost really high. So that's why like being zombies would probably be a fair price. But so chat, if you make suggestions to Neil, the great omnipotent Neiliversian, be sure that you include what price we would pay. I don't know that he'll go for any of them, but that would only be it.
I'm open to ideas. You'd have to give me a cost and a good rationale.
Make him an offer.
Also, Pep Solo asked what abilities Evelyn had. She had all paladin abilities, so I mentioned some of them already, but a lot of them just have to do with healing, being good, like sensing or turning away evil, and then some of them are costs, like I can't retain wealth, I have to tithe 10%. I was really freaking excited about the fact that at level 4 I could call for my war horse whenever I wanted. Again, read #best thing that ever happened to Anna in a D&D game, because you all know how I feel about horses in D&D games. I would literally have a freaking ponyta and play my little ocarina and just show up. Not ponyta, you know what I'm talking about. Epona. Anyways, other questions from the chat?
Let's see.
SS Desto suggests that Bulldog meets new survivors.
That's possibly what we will end up doing. I think we're probably going to have the other 3 be guardsmen or maybe a priest or something from the remaining towns. Jarbark and Cresthaven, if Cresthaven is still standing.
This is a really good point, actually. Pep Solo asks, since Leslie was conscious, could she have crawled away while Leo and Evelyn were being eaten?
No, she was.
I would say I even tried to ask that.
Yeah, when you get knocked down to below 0 and then come back up, you are like you can't do anything. The rules very clearly specify you are a bump on the log, and you are you're just screwed. So no, Evelyn and Leo and Evelyn, are all eaten by zombies.
Well, that's
The only problem is that
great.
Leslie might be conscious when it happens, possibly. So,
Like I might
Sorry,
be, I might be conscious when I turn into a zombie.
like as they eat you, you are like you're being like eaten alive.
Leslie
For a
is
short period of
freaking
time.
weak. She was like,
I know. I had some bad luck.
she was like a 150 something person, but like
120. Thank you
Like
very
a
much.
long time considering how.
like
Well, I mean,
useless as fuck. 2 HP.
I guess I had a full life. It's true.
So
She
I
was
have a
the only
question.
person who wasn't first level. She was a third level rogue.
Oh, you were a third
Don't even tell them
level?
that. That's just sad.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
You're
that's what I wanted to ask. Is
so-
there was definitely something going on with you that we didn't know. There was some story.
Mhm.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to reveal it now or
reveal it?
not, but maybe you
Or
should.
is it-
No, not yet, because I'm still holding out hope that either, we can be zombies, or that Jen will pull off some miraculous something or other, or that Martha's divine, grace
No.
and eternal love will shine down.
You're dead, Leslie. You
No,
just said we
you're
were
dead.
eaten.
You was not that
Hicarier and Flyer Goal are suggesting that we come back to life knowing that we're turning into zombies and have to decide how to either cure ourselves or stop it from happening. But we've already established that it happens within 24 hours, so probably wouldn't work.
Yeah, and that also would like there would have to be a solid story reason for it. Otherwise, why doesn't that happen to everyone? And that
Mhm.
doesn't mean it's impossible. I can't think of anything right now, and I might think of something later. Any reason why the three of them would be spared the normal zombie method of, creation.
This is also like there are mechanics for that in other games, but specifically in D&D 2e, there's nothing. You're dead. Period.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the charm of the system. It's like
Yeah.
playing Dark Souls, You just die.
Chat, be sure to let us know if you have other questions. We're probably not going to take too many suggestions for how the characters could come back to life, but do message them to Neil or put them in the subreddit if you have ideas. But if you have questions about the characters or their development, we actually spent more time on developing this campaign than any other one that we've ever done. And we were talking about our characters weeks in advance. And so that's why, I was sad when December died, but that was because she was my first character. I am more sad when this character died because I have been friends with her for a month and only got to show you guys her for 12 hours. Nope, 10 hours.
Mm-hmm. No. Is this a third or fourth episode?
Third.
Then 3, 6, 7.5 hours.
7.5 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Which is really unfortunate. I really liked Evelyn. I thought she was masterfully made.
Thank you.
I liked her too.
Bless your heart.
I
I was learning.
I had so many. Really?
I wanted I was actually planning on having my character starting to pick up the expressions when you weren't there. Like, you know how when people
Yeah.
hang out a lot with people, you start picking up expressions, and then especially if you look up to someone, you start emulating them a little bit sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I had so many other ideas for things that Evelyn was going to start doing too. Ugh.
Like what? Tell us.
Well, I might try to work it into a new character, so I don't want to give it away yet. We'll see. Any other questions from chat or questions from you guys, the rest of the cast, for
I
Neil
feel
or
like
for us?
if
About
some of
us?
you guys
About-
are down to reveal some backstory or some things, I feel like that would be really nice, because I know when my character dies, I feel better once I share my
Get some
secret.
closure.
Yeah.
Publicly mourn.
Steph, do you have any secrets about Leo that you want to share with us? Who do you have a crush on? What was he doing?
He
Well,
was starting to like
well,
me.
no. it might have developed it, but I wasn't there yet at all. I was
Man,
still.
I had a plan to charm your character. Not charm, like seduce, but like make them buddies. Like, I actually had a spell for your character to make you like me.
Oh, I don't want to talk about my character. I'm pissed.
Okay.
Aw. Well, I want to tell you my spell. I had a spell called Magic Pebbles, and I could enchant your sling bullets, and then they would make more damage. That was cute.
Aw.
So
I
I
think
would
here's
have
a-
made Leo stronger.
Good question from Shiny Breeder.
Hmm.
How hard
Shiny.
is it to actually think out and play/act as your character? I'm going to be playing soon with my friends, and I want to know what I'm getting into.
I personally thought it was really hard at first because I would create so much backstory and I wouldn't talk about my character. I wouldn't think about my character's uh, behavior if that makes sense. But now I switched it up to I think about how I want my character to be and then I create my backstory around it, and it's much more efficient. So, like Arcas, I wanted him to be X and Y and like flamboyant, like talking loudly and kind of stuff. And then I went backwards and created his backstory and all of it regarding it. And since I've done that, it's much easier to act out. When I was starting with the opposite, it was impossible actually to do. So that's my advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've all adopted that method where we're like, okay, we want something fun that we want to act out each week for our character and start there and then go the backstory. Because when I made December, it was like, this is how it happened when she was a child, and then she went into this cult, and then blah, blah, so it was a lot harder, like Stephanie Harvey said. So I think that's good advice. I think my advice would be the thing that was hardest to learn but is the most fun about D&D is like completely releasing your character from your own tendencies or moral compass. Like my characters will do things that I would never do and say things that I would never do, and sometimes that feels weird, especially when lots of people are watching you or when you're playing with friends. And so just kind of like that release and that kind of imagination, I think is really fun because it expands your imagination, makes you more creative, but it also I think is like a good exercise in humanity, just to like put yourself in someone else's shoes and think about how they would think, I don't know. So I really enjoyed that. So I would say like be sure to just kind of free yourself from yourself, and that makes it easier to play your character.
That's very, very good advice. Well
Thanks.
stated.
What about you, Jess and Jen? How to act out your character?
It's it's like Anna said, it's difficult, but also really fun when you pick a character or you design a character rather whose tendencies are very different than your own. And the way to do it is just really get into character and imagine your character's motivations, because it's like we all have motivations in life, we all have goals, we all have things that drive us. So just figure out what your character's motivations are and make every action with those in mind.
Jen?
That's all really good advice. All things I've actually also noted and learned throughout the days, but you're making it stand out. Like I actually wrote goals for my character on my character sheet, and from now on I kind of like that train of thought.
I should have done that. I never actually wrote down I created all this backstory. I never actually came out and stated here are Leslie's life dreams and here's what motivates her kind of thing.
The order I actually went about it was, once Stephanie told me her method, I was like, that's really smart. So I've been starting creating like Steph. So I do one big personality standout trait, then create backstory, and then I created the goals based on the backstory plus the personality trait, and I think that really works well for me. I think personality that Steph noted is super important. Now I always start off with it. That's all how I did all my characters. What did you say, Anna? It was really great too.
Like freeing yourself from your own.
Oh yeah. Because I totally had Abigail be kind of like, I'm not like Abigail, but there were definitely some personality traits from me that were in her. Even though that's not a glorious thing to say because she's not that nice of a person.
Well, it's kind of fun to take personality traits in yourself that maybe you're not even proud of, but just that you know that you do.
Enhanced them, yeah. Like my natural instinctive greed that I've been working on all my life, I decided to straight up put it into Abigail and kind of like go for that, and it felt nice doing it, and everyone hated me, and I was like, good thing you don't do that in real life, huh?
Yeah, it can kind of help you examine yourself if you
Yeah.
take like a personality trait of your own and put it out there
Yeah.
as like super highlighted.
Yeah, and then I guess my advice will be to go opposites. So like from now on, every time I create a character, I make sure it's freaking far from the previous one. Like I want every character to be memorable because it was so different from the others. I feel like sometimes I have failed it, but since Steph told me about the personality trait, like the personality beginning, it's much easier. So like Abigail was a coward and she was like greedy, and then I made Jackery, who was like complete opposite, who was like peace and loving and caring and didn't want anyone to fight. And then I made Spades, who just wanted to fight and was bloodthirsty and was like crazy warrior. So like going opposites, I feel really makes you explore D&D, and then you can see what you like. Like I personally don't like fighters that much, but I want to keep exploring the world of fighters to see like if I can find a fit there too. So that's mine.
I was going to say too, you guys were talking about like writing down your goals, and something that I really like that I learned from Dungeon World, which is another role-playing game, if you guys haven't heard of it, that we've done a couple times. It's on our YouTube if you want to check it out. Is creating bonds with other characters. And so thinking about like what you want from your relationship with another character really helps too, because the relationships obviously develop eventually, but like knowing, okay, I think my character is going to flirt with this character, or I think my character is in competition with this one, or I want to convert one to my, then it kind of informs and makes consistent your interactions, which is really fun too.
Nice. Bonds are such a good idea that D&D stole it for 5th edition, like straight out of Dungeon World.
Really? I didn't know that.
I don't know if
they
true
did.
that is, but
no, yeah.
I don't know if it's officially that, but I think there's a lot of speculation and reason to believe that they just ripped it out of Dungeon World.
I forgot because we played that one 5e campaign, and it was pretty robust there too. It was like you have inspiration as well.
Yeah, they have, what is it? They've got like a bond, a flaw, and a passion or something like that.
The flaw was super fun. That's another thing I would say about like picking out your character is thinking about what they're not good at and what they're like their weaknesses.
Yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah.
Ideals, bonds, flaws, and personality traits are like what you can roll for in 5th edition. Anyway, those are all good things to get into character. Just going to answer a few of these DM questions real quick. Do we not like the zombie campaign idea? No, we love the zombie campaign idea. I can't even tell you how many hours of work I put into these towns. I would be really upset if we just ended here.
Yeah, Neil's been working on these even longer.
Just like when you kill characters, right? Really upsetting when it just ends there.
Yeah.
All right, so we're switching.
From Pepsi Solo, what happened to the villagers? They all get eaten and they all die.
From 2 zombies? That seemed excessive.
Oh,
there were 44.
Yeah, those weren't the only zombies you were going to face on the way. We might as well talk about that. There was going to be a series of waves, like small waves, increasing in difficulty, heading towards the town. You guys died on the first one, the supposed easiest one of them all. And I'm not saying that you could have just like brute forced your way through. You might have had to sacrifice some villagers. You might have had to split up and run. You might have been able to brute force it. Who knows what strategy would have come up with, but it was not going to be an easy walk back to town. It was supposed to be hard. And I actually thought you were going to get through it last week instead of this week. Okay, those were the 2 questions I had seen. Whatever happened to the Demigods campaign? That's over. They all died, eaten by vampires.
We wanted to come back as vampires, but Neil wouldn't let us do that either.
Was that really the way it came about?
Yeah.
I don't think it was Neil wouldn't let us come. We can do a vampire campaign right now. We'll just roll up some vampires. You guys can run around.
It is a little one-dimensional. Kill people, drink blood, the end.
Yeah.
We could do an uprising of vampires. No, I mean, we can do our army of vampires. It's like a weird little big love thing, but instead it's killing everyone. You know that show where it's like
Big Love, where they're Mormons? Yeah. I love that show. It's so weird. It's another subject, but it's such a good show, actually.
Big Love Vampire Edition.
is this your fastest TPK? I had a character who died in an hour and a half of gameplay. We rolled the character that session, like at the start of everything, because the previous character died at the end of the previous session. Rolled him, created it, backstory, all that fun stuff in like an hour, because I was doing Dice with Ryan, and it was just really quick. And one commercial break later, he was dead, killed by hobgoblins. So that's the fastest TPK I've had. Oh yeah, Adia got decapitated. That's why you guys couldn't become vampires.
Yeah.
Adia lost her head.
Poor Adia.
Yeah.
Adia, it sucks that you're decapitated.
Yeah.
Is that the morning song for her?
Let you down. There's a song called Adia by Sarah McLachlan that like apparently nobody else has ever heard because I sang it like every episode and no one ever picked it up. It's a great song.
That's
Go
hilarious.
look it up.
Okay.
I will look that up.
I think that's all the questions people have for us for now. And I think we'll be back next week with some sort of solution to this, but I think Demigods will continue, or not Demigods, Outbreak will continue.
Well, good night, guys.
Good night.
Hi.
Or one out for us.
Shout outs on Thursday. Eye on the Storm is happening. It's my Heroes of the Storm talk show. It'll be on this channel. We just finished up Heroes of the Dorm, and there will be some very awesome personalities from Heroes of the Dorm talking to us about that on the show, so don't forget to tune in. Tomorrow, I will probably be casting the Heroes Hype Amateur Series, which is also Heroes of the Storm, and then I will also be streaming on my channel, so if you'd like to keep up to date with all this stuff, follow me on Twitter at Anna Prosser. That's where I put most of the links. And also want to remind you to be sure to follow and subscribe to Misscliks if you feel so led. And I think we'll probably do a Q&A on our subreddit, which sometimes gets pretty quiet, but that would be a good place to talk to Neil about this. So help us remember to remind him to do that. Neil, where can people find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Koibu, where I should be streaming later today. Although I guess for you guys, that's going to be tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know, time zones and stuff. I'll be streaming later, within 24 hours, probably within like 4. Yeah, and I think tomorrow is Roleplay Solemn, and then the day after that is going to be Dicing with Death, which is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, it's me and my other friend, and it's just one-on-one. And then this Sunday we will have Shenanigans, which is completely ridiculous. And if you want some more D&D content, the first episode of Shenanigans that we did this last weekend was probably like the best episode of D&D I've played online ever. It was ridiculous, hands down. Sorry, girls, it was amazing. I can't promise all the other ones will be like that, but you should check it out if you're interested in some ridiculous, silly, non-serious role playing. And that's that.
Follow me on Miss Harvey everywhere. I stream a lot these days. That's it.
Jess.
I also stream. You can find me on twitch.tv/Jess. I stream most days a week. I stream every day that I'm not traveling for events and stuff. And I kind of took a week off because I was like moving and super busy. But starting today, I started streaming again. So I'll be streaming tomorrow, mostly Dota. Sometimes Here's the Storm, sometimes other dumb games.
Jen?
And take it away, Jen.
If you guys want to follow my stuff, follow me at LiveInPinkSC2. I don't really stream much, but twitch.tv/LiveInPink. You never know. And at Rainbow Six Game, wearing the shirt, totally not being a nerd. It's really awkward when too many people at the office wear it. Steph was right. Steph once told me it was, and then I actually started agreeing.
And then everyone's like, fuck, we gotta go home and change.
5 in the meeting room out of 7 people with this shirt, and I'm like, oh my god. And we actually all picked the same color. We have 5 color variations, and we all picked gray. And I'm like, oh my god, no. Anyway, that's it. That's my shout out. Shout out to my work people. Please stop wearing the gray one.
I mean, it's fine when we're all at E3 wearing the shirt. It actually is pretty cool. But when you're like, I remember when I was in Prince of Persia and we all had the shirts. It was like, and like 6 years after, it's still like.
This just in, by the way, at least Neil, Jess, and I are gonna play some Heroes and stream it tonight because
so
this
wish.
stream is short. So we're gonna have a quick post stream meeting, and then I will host at least one of our streams on Misscliks, so you can come hang out with us, and we'll just BS and play some Heroes and stuff. And of course, Jen and Steph are welcome as well, but you guys are late in your time zone, so we'll see. You will not know.
Ooh.
If they come. So, we will see you next week. Same time, same channel.
Bye, guys.
Farewell.
Bye, guys.
Not same characters.
Arr.
That was unnecessary.